Now, the thing is, I mean, did he jump or did he, well, or was he pushed here as well, or did he jump before he was pushed?
I think probably the latter. I mean, he made it pretty clear in his letter that he was open to staying on, that he was, you know, every previous governor since India's economic liberalization began over 2 decades ago has gotten an extension of his term. He seems to have expected one himself and left, you know, because he wasn't seeing support from the government for that extension.
Well, absolutely. And the thing is, what do we do next? I mean, how badly do you think India's credibility is going to be affected by this? Is this going to lead to a loss of confidence?
In the short term, I think it will. It can't help but do so. I mean, Rajan was so hugely respected, not just within India, but internationally especially. And, you know, at a time of great global uncertainty for emerging markets in particular, credibility matters almost more than anything. And Rajan gave India that credibility. I mean, but not just for his economic management skills, but for his temperament and for his independence and his autonomy. It's going to be hard to recover from that in the short term. I mean, there are things the government can do in the medium to long term that will help.
Now, can one man that make such a huge difference in a huge country such as India here, Nisid?
Well, it's a very good question. You know, it's obviously the government can and will hopefully find a replacement who's as qualified and respected within India. You know, any single person isn't bigger than the institution. But what Rajan brought to the RBI that will be hard for any successor to bring is this international credibility. I mean, he was well known, well respected all over the world, as that Muhammad Al-Aryan tweet indicated. You know, he brought something bigger than himself to the institution. And also the fact that, unlike previous governors, he was willing to speak out on issues that went beyond the remit of a central bank governor. He talked about social issues. He was very honest about India's economic numbers, about the narrative about India. That's going to be hard to replace, no matter how skilled or polished a bureaucrat you find to replace him.
Well, what does the government now need to do in order to rebuild credibility with the investment community?
Well, the first thing they need to do is find a replacement that has credibility with that community. You know, there are several people to choose from. It would be better to make the decision sooner rather than later to clear up this period of uncertainty. The government should also immediately be coming out and reiterating its support for the autonomy of the RBI. There is also a monetary policy committee, a new innovation that needs to be set up with 3 members from the government. It'll be very important for those members to be widely respected and to have credibility as well. And then, you know, beyond that, in the bigger picture, the government really needs to rejuvenate its own reform efforts. I mean, there's been a bit of a slowdown in this. In a recent interview, Prime Minister Modi talked about not intending to engage in any sort of big picture reforms, big bang reforms, he said. You know, I think that's a mistake. I think that's something that the government needs to look at again. And they need to convince investors that India still is a place worth putting their money into in the medium to long term.